Yes, you read that title correctly. Why I believe Levi Ackerman should die. Okay, before the Levi cult comes from my head, I want to preface this by saying this is my opinion. Let's please not kill each other over an opinion of an anime like I know we usually do. I know that asking this is like asking for world peace, but I won't sleep well if I don't even try. And if you think I just hate this character, sit down. The levels to which I simp Levi are astronomical. Levi is my favorite character in Attack on Titan. Probably my favorite character of all time. Same as Itachi from Naruto. And if you want more proof, you should just take a look at my Pinterest board. And I think it's a pretty decent show of proof that I am a hardcore member of the Levi cult. But if I love him so much, why do I want him to die? At the time of making this video, I believe there are still 3 more issues of Attack on Titan left. And we'll find out who makes it and who doesn't make it once and for all. But I really want Levi to die. But it's not for the reasons you think. Traditionally, when I want a character to die, I usually want it because they've been a total ass and they just need to go. Like, out the front door, right now, see you no later. But for Levi, it's different. So different. Levi has been through hell. Literally hell. From the very beginning, it's apparent that Levi cares very deeply about his men and humanity as a whole, even if he doesn't show it in a very loud or flashy way. He does everything he can do to avoid a high body count and bring his people back home. And in the Shinganshina arc, he even accepted death as a potential plan to get Eren and as many soldiers as they could back home to safety. And through all this, he's been on the battlefield longer than just about everybody else. The fact that Levi has been in a non-stop battle for his entire life is really important as to why I think he needs to be at rest. He's just lost so much. If you watch the OVAs, you know that prior to the era of Eren Yeager, Levi also lost 2 of his closest friends from the underground, Farland and Isabel. They died on their first mission with the Survey Corps when the rain set in and they were attacked by a horde of Titans. Then we see the original Levi squad, Petra, Eldo, Gunther, and the tongue-biting guy. It's clear that they've been working as a unit for quite a while and survived many missions together. Levi lost them all in hopes of protecting Eren. And every time he thinks back to his fallen comrades, they're always the first one on his mind. And even though Kenny became a thorn in his side, he did teach him everything he knew, and the moment Levi learned that he was his uncle, he was gone too. And then with the battle for Shinganshina, in addition to losing the entirety of the Survey Corps, he lost ERWIN, the commander and friend he dedicated his life to protect and serve.
Levi, arigato.
I may have to go into manga spoilers now, so if you want the TLDR, jump to this time code, but I think you know where I'm going with this. In the latest issues, Levi loses even more than that. You'd think Erwin would be his biggest loss, but even 4 years later, it showed that there is always much more to lose. The point at which I felt this the most was where Zeke double-crossed them and turned his entire team into Titans from the wine spiked with his spinal fluid. Even though we didn't get to spend much time with them or get to know them by name, we knew how much they meant to Levi and how much this infuriated him. So much so that he wanted to kill Zeke in the most slow and painful way ever. Having made a promise in his best friend's name to kill the Beast Titan, but he couldn't the first time because the stupid cart Titan carted him away. I love you, Peak-chan, but I also really hate you for this moment right here.
I was this close. This close!
And the second time, he had to believe that not killing Zeke was the best path for humanity's future. It must be insanely frustrating to be in Levi's position. And throughout all of this, he's been sacrificing all his men to protect Eren, who ended up turning his back on them to make plans of his own. That's painful. Like, downright painful. He thought he had Zeke incapacitated, but Zeke manages to get away at the cost of nearly dying himself. And in issue 132, he loses Hanji too, the last of his OG garrison. Like, I just want to cry for Levi. I really do. He gives and gives and gives, but all the world does is take. He gives everything he has for humanity for nameless people he'll never meet, and he gets screwed over every single time. This moment where he reflects back on the many times that he saved Eren at the cost of his own men, and for Eren to turn his back on them and enact his own plan, it literally stabbed me in the heart. It's such a huge disgrace for those who gave their lives to this. The OG Levi squad, Erwin, the entire Survey Corps at Shinganshina, all these unsuspecting soldiers here. Really heartbreaking to know that their sacrifices led to this outcome. And I can't help but think that Levi 100% blames himself for this. The dogma that Levi repeats to himself almost religiously is to live forward with no regrets. No one knows how things are going to turn out, but you do the best you can with what you're given and you don't look back. But maybe he tells himself this because he can't afford to think otherwise. The moment that he opens that door and thinks he should have done things a different way will be the moment he questions everything, which cripples his resolve and he ceases to be humanity's strongest soldier. And for everyone else's sake, that cannot happen. Even though at the time, saving Eren or doing whatever seemed to be the best course of action to take, sadly doesn't matter. Because now we can see that all those deaths didn't contribute to some greater cause. It led to the rumbling, one of the worst catastrophes humanity could ever encounter. And after seeing Hanji sacrifice her life to give them enough time to get away, I really want Levi to have a similar end. Hanji meeting Erwin in the afterlife was one of the most beautiful frames I've ever seen put to page. Like, none of the Survey Corps soldiers were upset with her or looking down at her with hate. They just welcomed her with open arms. And I want that so badly for Levi. He suffered so much and for so long. He's literally lost everything. Jean, Connie, Mikasa, and Armin are probably the only ones that might give two shits about him now. It's funny because this is definitely a first for me. Out of all the worlds I've watched or read through books, movies, etc., there's never been a world that's as engrossing and as hopeless as Attack on Titan. It's just so cruel, and I want Levi to have his end with the people he cared most about. And that can only happen in death. But if Levi's gonna die, I do want him going out killing Zeke. That's his last promise to Erwin, and if it couldn't happen at the battle for Shiganshina, and it couldn't happen after Zeke turned all of his people into Titans, it has to happen now. It's not in Attack on Titan's MO for these things to happen the way we want, but a girl can dream. And I dream of a world where Levi cuts into the nape of that fugly monkey's neck and serves up some delicious monkey steak for the dogs. I will cry for days if it happens, but I will also be sending out a huge breath of relief that Levi can finally join all the people he's cared about so much. Continuing to live in the world of AoT is just asking to be abused, and he doesn't deserve that. At the end of the day though, whatever fate Isayama has in store for Levi, I'm sure it'll break our hearts in some way, shape, or form. I can see possibilities that work for both, and there hasn't really been a time the series has let me down. But at this point, I just really want my little sewer rat to find peace. Just a tiny bit of peace for a very sad and tragic life. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you're feeling in the comments down below, because I really want to know. I am curious if people are as accepting of Levi dying as I am, or it's a definite no, he must survive. At the very least, we can all agree that we love our short king and want the best for him.